What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming. I just want to first off apologise for the ever so slightly clickbaity nature of the title. It's mainly for you guys who already know and are already going to check this video out, the long time viewers, because this video will make no sense to basically anyone else. But just for the sake of it, if you are one of the random people who somehow stumbles onto this as my first, or should I say as your experience with my first video, is that the proper way? I don't know, it doesn't even matter. But anyway, so a little while back, maybe about a week or two ago, I officially retired my Xbox One. I got sick and tired of it being basically useless, being a two game box machine. That sounds so weird, I hope I worded that correctly. And on top of that, even failing and struggling to run those two specifically designed, actually exclusive games very poorly, and I'd say arguably unacceptably. So I just basically retired it. I took the console out. I have no plans to ever play it again. I may eventually, and I have no plans to ever just hook it back up, because let's face it, there's nothing for me to play on it at a later date, unless I really want to play the Master Chief Collection or Halo 5, and for some reason they just don't port them over to PC, because apparently they hate money, and you know, we want them on PC and they'll actually sell. But that's beside the point anyway. So under my TV on my stand, I had a nice big extra space, and of course I mean a very big extra space, because the Xbox One launch day model, not an S or an X, but the actual original day one launch model, was huge, as we know. Many people hate it. Personally, I think it looks like a nice 1980s VCR. I absolutely love the aesthetic of it, but that's just me. I'm really weird and like retro stuff like that, as you've probably guessed by the name. So I decided that since I need to work on my backlog, I was going to put in another console that I actually have stuff to play from the backlog. And over the last few weeks, I made a big list of all my games, and I made a big list, or should I say a smaller list, comprised of that big list of games that I essentially really want to beat this year. And I also made another list that was kind of an expanded one that included games I might possibly want to beat this year. So I looked at all the stuff on there. I looked at what console I should put in. If I should put in my Super Nintendo, although that's kind of moot considering now I have my analog Super NT permanently connected up. Was I going to connect in my PS1, my PS2, my PS3, my Sega Mega Drive, Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii, OG Xbox, Sega Saturn? I mean, the amount of consoles I could have put in was kind of redonkulous, really. But you're never actually going to guess what I put in as the replacement, or at least a temporary replacement for the Xbox One. And no, it's not what you see here. This footage is used intentionally to mask what I'm actually putting in there, or should I say what I actually already have in there, and I've started playing it. Because let's face it, if I recorded that footage and put it up here, it would have gave it away straight away. Anyway, yes, of all things, the console that I put in to replace my Xbox One, because let's face it, I actually have something to play on this console, and it's absolutely ridiculous and mind-blowing that that's actually the case over the Xbox One. Anyway, I've beaten around the bush long enough, so that console is the Wii U. That's right, the Wii U of all things. Me playing the Wii U. As someone who is a vocal, very outspoken person against the Wii U, I actually connected up my Wii U in the space where the Xbox One used to be. Because I have about half a dozen games on that list that I could potentially beat this year on the Wii U. At least one of which I absolutely want to beat. That's the current one I'm playing now, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Of course, I know exactly what's going to happen. The day after I actually finish the game, they're going to announce a Switch port, but I don't even care at that point. But there's a couple of other games that I wouldn't mind getting around on there too, like say Xenoblade Chronicles X. Not a very good game, mind you, but the backlog is what the backlog is. But it's just crazy when you think about it. I've already mentioned it once or twice before that I actually have about twice as many Wii U games as I do Xbox One games. I mean, that speaks volumes for it within itself. And not only that, but the fact is there's only 2 games I would consistently play on my Xbox One, versus if you look at the games I've picked out from this list, I have about half a dozen games I can actually play on my Wii U. Now, of course, that's not just to instantly turn me into a Wii U lover, and now my new channel's name is going to be Wii U Q Gaming. Absolutely not the case. The Wii U is still a failure, a flop, but like many things, it can have a couple of decent games on it. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is one of those games. I even deleted my nearly 20-hour save file just to start over from scratch, so I'd actually remember everything, remember the story, and get invested with it as it went along. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, this is still an Atlus JRPG, and you can tell that a mile away from playing it. Hopefully it does come to the Switch eventually. Obviously I won't be replaying it in that case, but it's a game that I feel a lot of Atlus fans may have completely missed out on because, well, it's on the Wii U. And maybe then they'll actually finally get to properly experience it. But until then, peace out everyone. Let me know in the comments section below. Are there any Wii U games, be it Wii U exclusive or ported over to Switch eventually, that you've really wanted to play or have already played, games that you may not have got around to finishing, or whatever it is? Let me know all that good stuff in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on the video. Maybe even hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling lucky, even turn on that little notification bell. And I will Wii U on the rest of the videos in my channel.